My crazy mom said my husband was a criminal and I didn't believe her until I woke up inside a moving car trunk. Ever since I was a kid, my mom always overreacted about everything. If I tripped while walking, she would start screaming and want to call an ambulance. If I made a new friend, she would immediately say something was wrong with them and make up weird stories just to scare me away. But none of those stories ever turned out to be true. So as I grew older, I became convinced that I had to live my life without listening to her. Not because she was a bad person, but because she worried way too much, and I thought she was just overly paranoid. When I went to college in the US, I met Ryan. He was calm, polite, and treated me really well. And over time, we started spending almost every day together until he asked to come to my house to meet my parents and talk about marriage. I was happy and agreed. When he came, my dad welcomed him normally, but my mom from the very first minute started interrogating him, asking about his family, where he was from, what his parents did, where exactly he worked, and question after question with no end. Ryan was clearly uncomfortable and embarrassed, and I tried to stop her, but she wouldn't. After dinner, Ryan left, and the moment the door closed, my mom grabbed my arm hard and said, "That man is dangerous, stay away from him." I thought she was exaggerating like always and told her she was wrong, but she threatened to kick me out of the house if I kept seeing him. I was sure she was just being crazy again, and I was even more sure that I loved Ryan. So that same night I called him and we decided to get married quickly to escape my mom's pressure. And the next day we had a simple courthouse wedding with no family and no ceremony. When I told my mom, she screamed and said I would regret it. Weeks and months passed and I was very happy with Ryan. We went out, watched movies, laughed, and life felt perfect. Until one night after we went to sleep, I woke up tied up and unable to see anything, feeling that I was inside a moving car. And that's when I realized I was in the trunk. I screamed as loud as I could, but no one heard me. The car kept driving for hours until it suddenly stopped. And when the trunk opened, I saw 3 scary men. Then I heard a voice I knew very well. It was Ryan, my husband, telling them to take me inside. They dragged me into a closed garage where there were many other women tied up just like me. Ryan looked at me coldly and said there was no leaving this place and that I would live and work there for the rest of my life. In that moment, I understood the truth. Ryan was a criminal who kidnapped women and forced them to work for him with no pay, basically enslaving them. I was about to break down, but the other women told me crying was useless because they had all tried everything to escape and there was no hope. Until suddenly we heard loud banging and the door being smashed. It was the police raiding the place. They arrested Ryan and the whole gang and freed me and all the women. Later I found out that ever since I told my mom I had married Ryan, she never felt at ease. So she kept searching for me until that morning when she finally found our house. And right after that, she saw Ryan putting me into the car trunk. So she followed him while calling the police and describing the route. The gang went to prison and all the women were set free. My mom was even honored and appeared on TV. And when the reporter asked how she knew Ryan was a criminal, she just smiled and said, "A mother's instinct is always right." And from that day on, I never doubted her again.